So we are going to learn how to manage Microsoft Teams in this lab session. So we have two client machines, client 1 and client 2, and we are going to log in to Microsoft 365 Admin Center on client number 1, that is our virtual machine number 1. So I'm going to log in as an administrator account, and we are going to assign some Teams admin role to some users. So here is my password. Let's complete the multi-factor authentication. And you have to log into your MFA setup using the Microsoft Authenticator app. So let's proceed. You have to scan the QR code on your phone using the Microsoft Authenticator app. And you will get this pop-up where you have to enter these digits on your phone to complete the verification step. And seems like this is completed. So once we are done, we'll be into our Teams admin Microsoft 365 Admin Center, and let's check the users list over here. So there are some sample users. I'm going to take Juni Sharman and I'm going to assign the role of Teams Administrator to this user. Roles, basically we are assigning the permissions, right? What permissions, what level of access this person is going to have in the Teams Admin Center. So I'm going to select Teams Administrator role for this user. Save it, and let's get back to another user to whom we are going to assign the role of a Teams Communication Support Engineer. So I will select Patti Fernandez and I will assign the role of Teams Communication Support Engineer. If the role is not visible, you can select Show All by category and you can select Teams Communication Support Specialist, Support Engineer. We have Teams Communication Support Engineer, Support Specialist, various roles available. So we are going to assign the role of a Teams device administrator to Patty Fernandez. Another user, Alan Dio, will be Teams communication support engineer. So let me quickly assign this role. Teams communication support engineer. Now next task is to check the licenses of your users. Okay, so we'll quickly check the licenses of these users. What licenses have been assigned for this lab? Microsoft 365 E5 and Microsoft Teams should be assigned. For the license assignment, it's necessary that the user's location is set. So here you just change the user location for Alex Wilbur, and you can see that Microsoft 365 E5 and Teams Enterprise is assigned. So let's make it Canada and save the changes. This is how you can see the user's licenses. Now you can see that various licenses are available, and whichever users you want to see the license, you can see them the same way, right? For other users also, you can see what licenses are assigned. In the next task, we are going to explore some Teams management tools. Okay, so let's take another user and check the licenses of that user too. Let's say Alan Dio, or any user, you can just pick it up from here. Licensing and apps, you can see the location and what license is assigned. This way you can cross verify. If it's not there, then you can assign it so that they can perform the capabilities, various tasks in the Intune Admin Center. Teams Admin Center, sorry. Now let's perform some tasks using Joni Sherman's account in the Teams Admin Center. So we are going to log in using in private window and the Microsoft Edge, and this time we will be logging in using Joni Sherman. So on the same machine, client 1, we are going to see how to create teams, how to manage policies, what different options are available. If you want to use PowerShell, you can also use PowerShell for your Teams task, Teams Admin Center task. So I'm just logging in using Joni Sherman's account. Password. So we'll go to Teams. We'll see different options what are available. We have manage teams, team settings, policies, templates, policies, teams update policies, and teams upgrade settings. We can just explore what different options we can see from here. If you see that currently there are no teams in this account, Teams policies. One policy by default is available. Global wise, organizational wide default policy is there. So you can create, you can perform tasks in Microsoft Teams Admin Center. You can also use Microsoft PowerShell. Okay, so you can see some templates available over here which you can use for creating your teams. These are some built-in templates available. Default policy that we have. So we are going to use it. We are going to gain some policies over here, template policies in the upcoming task. Teams update policies like users that will see whatever pre-release or pre-feature views in the Teams app, they will be able to use it in the preview. Here we'll be able to see the list of users in your tenant. You have stored, you have Teams rooms on Windows, Android, different options available to manage different form factors of devices. If you want to deploy applications using Teams Admin Center, you can do so. So we are going to now install and explore the Teams PowerShell module. You can use either the PowerShell module or you can also work around with the Graph PowerShell module that's available. So we are going to work with the PowerShell module, that is Microsoft Teams. Install it. First we are going to install the PowerShell module for Teams, and then we are going to connect to our environment. We are going to connect to our tenant, and then we are going to pass the commands that are available, whether to create a team or a group, you want to update some properties, you want to update team policies, or whatever tasks that you can perform from the graphical user interface, you can perform it from the Windows PowerShell as well. We'll guess this command to view if the module was installed and what commands are available. See, connect Microsoft Teams. It's going to give you an option to quickly log into your Teams app. Once you sign in using the Teams your account, you will be able to pass the commands and you'll be able to work with your Teams application like Teams Admin Center, right? So here there will be a pop-up which will be asking to sign in like this. And I'm going to add a password for this, Joni Sherman, and let's sign in. Now I'm connected to my Microsoft Teams environment, and if I want I can see what modules are installed, right? And you can also take help of the help command, get help commandlet, which is used to explore the available commandlets. Okay, so that's our module. You can either use get command module Microsoft Teams or get help new team. That's going to give you the list of what parameters you can use with this command. You can see these are some examples over here. Then you have the syntax for this command, what parameters can be included. This command lets you create a new team in Microsoft Teams, an Office 365 unified group to back the team. So the group is also going to get created when you create a new team in Microsoft Teams, right? Now we can disconnect. Like after this, you can pass different commands. You can try some examples from the learn directory and you can disconnect. Now we are going to create a group. Create a group in create a Microsoft 365 group. So we need to first log into Microsoft Entra Admin Center, or we can create it from here as well, Microsoft 365 Admin Center. Add a Microsoft 365 group. You can add a description, the name as IT department, then you can select who will be the owners of this group, who will be the members of this group. So let's add owners over here. On the next page, we can add members. So let's make Patti Fernandez, Alan De Jong, and the administrator as part of this group. So we can make it public. We have to add a group email address. We can set the privacy of this group when it's kept to public, right? And then we can create a group. So we are just going to unselect this option, create a team for this group at this moment. And let's create a group. Now we just go to the client to machine, and there we are going to sign into the desktop client. We are going to create some teams using a standard user account. And let me just quickly log in as an Alex Wilbur. Once I'm logged in, I will just create a team. From my desktop client. So we are logged in, and let's create a team. New team, and here we'll add the name of the team as Teams Rollout. So description, we can add any description, but like with respect to the team, but let's keep it as it is. It's a public team, and we can also give the channel name of this team, the first channel, the same name. There are some templates also available using which you can also create the team. Let's say for project management, client, employee onboarding, and some other templates are there. So let's go to the new team. Let's again create an okay, looks like it was not created. Let me create it again. Public channel name is also the same. We can add members to this group. We have to use the full name to adding the members to this group. Manage team, leave team option, archive, get link. You can see different options available. You have add member. So I'm going to add a full name for the user. Okay. Let me try again. Add a member. Let me type the full name for this user, and you'll be getting an option to add this user. Okay, Joni Sherman, add Lynn Robbins, and one more user. So let's add Patti Fernandez as Diego Sicilian. Now here you will see who all are the members of this group. This is the teams created. These are the members. Members in guest section, you will be able to see through. And you can make the Joni Sherman. Here we are going to make the owner of the group. You can select and you can make the owner also. Now we have seen how to create a team from the desktop client. Now let's see how to create a team by using a web client. Okay, now see, you can see that there are various options over here for creating fun stuff, team code, mentions, guest permissions. You can also see the analytics, who are the active users, meetings, engagement, apps, okay, tags. what channels are there, right? So now we are going to log into client 2 virtual machine, and on that virtual machine we are going to connect to the Teams web client. And we are going to sign in as Lynn Robbins. And let's add a password as well. So the same way how we created a team for the desktop client, we have to create a team for the web client as well. So here we are, and let's go to add team option. And this time the team's name will be sales. Description is like optional, we can keep it like that, and let's keep it as a private team. And once we are done creating a team, we can add members to the team as well. So in this team we are going to add Alex Wilbur as a member. So that's done. Now the next part, we will see how to implement lifecycle management and governance for Microsoft Teams, right? And in that we are going to see how to configure the Microsoft 365 group creation policy permissions, configure and test Microsoft groups naming policy. So first, let's go to the Entra Admin Center on client 1 virtual machine. The group naming policies, expiration policies can be configured from the Entra Admin Center. So we'll just quickly log in on the another tab as a administrator account, entra.microsoft.com. We need to go to the group section, all groups. Expiration policies, where we can manage the group life cycle. So we will configure some settings over here in the expiration policy. Here you have options to set the group lifetime in days. We will set it like you have 180, 365. We will set a custom number, that is 90 days. Group will expire after 90 days. Then you have an option to provide an email point of contact for groups that are having no owners. So we will add the Joni Sherman's account over here. Then we have enable expiration for these Microsoft 365 groups. So we'll add one group over here, which is Teams Rollout, so that the Teams Rollout team Okay, that's going to expire after 90 days. If the team doesn't have any owner after 90 days, Juni Sherman will be notified about the expiration. Okay, so that is how it's going to work. Now let us create a naming policy, group creation policy. So you need to limit which users can create Microsoft 365 groups. You will create a security group which is named as group creators, right? So users basically those will be there who can create Microsoft 365 groups, and let's add a description over here. Users who can create M365 groups. If you can add a role, you can add a role assignment from here. So let's complete this quickly and finish creating a group. After you create a group creators, we'll just going to select the group page, and we are going to add owners and members in this group. So let's go to the member page, member tab. Let's add the mod administrator as the owner of this group. And the members will be Joni Sherman and Alex Wilbur. So this is like restricting the Microsoft 365 groups creation to the security group. Okay, so Microsoft PowerShell is soon to be deprecated, and Microsoft Graph PowerShell will be used. But both PowerShell and Microsoft Graph PowerShell we can make use of till it is deprecated. So now we are going to see configure some settings, directory settings from by using the PowerShell. Okay, so let's open PowerShell and we'll run it as an administrator privilege with full administrator privilege. And we will install a module Azure AD Preview. So install module name Azure AD Preview, and after this we are going to connect to the Entra ID tenant by using the administrator account. Once this is done, then we will try to connect with the Entra ID environment. Sign in as an administrator. So we are going to do basically some settings, directory settings here. Let me add the password for the admin. The very first command I would give to load the Azure AD Unified Group template and store that value in a variable. And the next command that we will give will be if statement, where it will be assigning the Azure AD setting. It will check if the Azure AD setting is already present. If not, it will create a blank Azure AD setting object. Then in the next set of commands, we are going to modify the enable group creation attribute. Okay, so let's say setting enable group creation. Setting is still holding the value of the Azure AD setting. Group creation allowed equal to false, and then we are going to check, we are going to apply these settings. Only the group creators will be like we are declaring as a permitted group to create groups by their object ID. Then we will see the values over here. And we will check the default settings. So this is going to create a new directory setting object. For the very first time, if you are to save the changes and apply the setting, then you have to check on the client machine that this option won't be visible. So for that to be visible, or the option will be grayed out for creating a new item, new team for that user, and it will take some time for that setting to reflect over here. So the option of creating a team is still visible, which means the settings are not applied, because this should be grayed out. So if we try to create a team over here, it will give some error. So now we are going to apply the settings again, and once it is done, the user will be able to create a setting. Create a team, right? So we have disabled and we have enabled this using the PowerShell, this ability to create or to not allow to create a team. Now next is the group naming policy, and this is something which is managed from the Entra Admin Center. So let's go to group naming policy, and here you can upload a CSV file for the words which you do not want your users to use in the group name. So you can block certain words over there. So we are downloading this CSV template, and we're going to provide a list of which words will be blocked. Rather, I would try to open it using a notepad. We are going to block CEO, payroll, and HR, okay, as the blocked words that cannot be used for the group creation. CEO group or payroll group or HR group. So that I'm adding as a block words under the CSV file. Save it, and now we are going to upload it to the blocked words policy. So upload it and save the settings. Next policy is group naming policy. So let's say if you want to add a prefix or a suffix before, like some strings or attributes before and after, you can define a standard group naming policy for your intra groups, Microsoft Store groups, security groups over here. So we are going to add a prefix as group underscore, and we will add one more you can say option over here, but that will be as a suffix, and that will be for string. So adding an underscore, then another suffix will be my attribute, and that will be country or region. Then we can save the settings, and this settings will be taking some time to take effect, the block word settings. So we are going to test the naming policy. For the block words, it will take some time to upload, that is 24 hours approximately. So let's go to client to virtual machine, and on that machine we are going to try to create a team from the Teams desktop client, which is going to create a group as well in the enter ID. Okay. So the name will be after work for the team. Description is optional, and we'll set the team type to public. Let's give the name for the first channel as after work. After work and create. Okay, looks like that policy took effect now, but no problem. We'll just log out and log in back again to test this functionality. Okay, everything is correct. Let's go back to the test machine. Just log out and log in back, so the settings take effect because we have disabled the group creation. So recently we have enabled it using the PowerShell. I'm going to log in again using Alex Wilbur's account, and this app only. And this time we are going to again create an after work team. Okay, so now let's add a name quickly after work. Mm, Option, description is optional. Let's make it the channel name as well, and let's set this team. Okay, let's keep it private, and after it gets created we will add members to the team. So let me add Lynn Robbins over here. You can see the group name has taken, the naming policy has taken effect. It's adding a prefix as well as the suffix that we have defined. The country and region is not reflecting because that is not available for that user. So that value will be taken from the user's attribute of country or region that is there, who is trying to create a group. Okay, so that is how it works, and we'll delete this policy now. And in the next next task will be how we can see how we can manage policy packages. So let's go to Teams Admin Center, or we are already signed in as Joni Sherman, so we'll just go to the policy packages section. In the show all option we have policy packages, so let me quickly find it. Show all and frontline deployment. Okay, it's not here. Okay, I found the policy packages, and we are going to create a frontline worker default uh, policy package that we can use from. It's frontline worker. We are going to update some policies over here, messaging policies and calling policy. And we can also assign users to this policy packages. So this task is all about that. So many built-in packages available you can use from. We are going to work on frontline worker, and let's edit the messaging policy for the frontline workers. Messaging policy, meeting policy, app setup, policy, calling policy, live events policy. So different settings available for each of this category. And here you can see what options you have. Owners can delete sent messages, delete sent messages. Users can delete messages sent by bots. And like that you have other settings as well. So we are going to update the calling policy also. Some changes we can make. So you can just explore what different policy packages for what different options, like for calling policies, what different options are available. So we are going to turn on prevent toll bypass and send calls through the PSTN, and we are going to update busy on busy when in a call to on. Right, so that I'll keep it as on, busy on busy during calls, that will also be kept as on, and we are going to save it. Once we have selected, we have configured all the settings, we are going to assign the users to this policy package. So we are going to assign Alan this policy to Alan. Go back. Manage users. Make sure frontline worker, the policy package is selected. Here you can add users. So we're going to add Alan De Jong to this policy package and apply that. If you want to check how this policy package will be visible when we select the users, we can also see that. Right, so let's go to manage users page. From here you can add the users, and if you want to see that whether this policy package is assigned to that user, you can check it from the manage users section. Okay, so let's go to manage users, and then here you can just select any user. Let's say we have assigned to Alan, so let's click on Alan and see in the policy section we can see which policy packages are available. Right, so you have messaging policy from the frontline worker, and then we have calling policy from the frontline worker again. So this is how you include the policies from an existing policy package and assign the packages to a single user. This will help you to assign the same set of policies to a group of users working in the same role or requiring the same access. Now let's create a Teams update policy. Enable access to Teams public preview features using the Teams update policies. So there is only also one default policy which is there, but we are going to create a new one. Name is enable preview features. Description can be optional, but enable Teams public preview. For which users you're going to target, right? On for users in the current channel, users can opt in. On for everyone, so we are going to select on for everyone, and this is your custom policy. Okay, so let's save it, let's apply. Now assigning this policy to the users, so we'll select the policy, enable view preview features, make sure it is checked, and then you can click on assign users. Teams update policies and enable preview features. You can see what are the different options available, so we have to keep it Microsoft control. Make sure the enable preview features policy is checked, and then you will get an option over here to assign the users. We are going to assign this policy to Alex Wilbur, Lynn Robbins, and Diego Siciliani. So let me add this as well and apply, confirm. So we have assigned a custom update policy to the custom policy that we have created in the task one for this exercise. Okay, so that's all we have completed with the exercise, the lab number 1 for MS 100.